They better hope Marathon hits. All right. Tricky is stepping away, so he'll come back to a completely new article. Katakawa and Sony agree to form strategic capital and business alliance. So what has happened was Sony has now become the largest shareholder, holding approximately 10% of Katakawa's sale. And remember, this is the whole thing that was happening over the past couple of weeks, maybe month or so, where they said Sony's going to buy Katakawa. This isn't outright buying, but as the largest shareholder, obviously they're going to have the most say. So remember, Katakawa owns things like FromSoft and all of the games that they make, as well as manga, anime, toys, things like that. This is actually what surprised me, that it wasn't an outright purchase, that they just became the largest shareholder.
Did it say in there how many seats, board seats they get for that percentage? Is it 2?
I didn't see that in the article. I kind of skimmed over it. I just know that it said how many shares they bought, which gave them the 10% as the largest shareholder.
So they are maybe the largest single shareholder, but they are not the majority. So even if they have 10%, they still don't have the majority of the say in voting.
And I just looked up it. I looked for the word board. It said absolutely nothing in the article about board.
So yeah, I just see it said they become the largest shareholder. Typically, and this again, just to use Tencent as a parallel to this, what they've been doing is going and buying 10% of this, 10% of that, 15% of this, and spreading their money instead of outright gobbling up studios and being solely responsible for them.
It's diversifying your portfolio.
Yes, and the same thing for the Saudi wealth fund. Yeah, they're out there just getting a board seat here, getting a board seat there, and when you put your people at the table, you can then swing that influence and dictate to a degree, not solely, what they do with their projects, what gets greenlit, and then you have someone there when financials are laid out, when they do their quarterly and yearly financial meetings. It's like, hey, we had some hits, we had some misses, and it's like then they report back to their people like, man, they're ready. Come in with an offer. I mean, look at using Vivendi and Ubisoft as an example. Seat by seat by seat, they just kept buying shares, and they tried to force a hostile takeover. So it's not that these specific companies that we've mentioned before, the only ones guilty of doing this. It's business. They're all out there being cutthroat and gnarly, but it's just very interesting watching